So we're going to go over some basic movements. We're not going to go too in depth because we're just going to get the general gist. There's plenty of in-depth explanations about the various kinds of movements you can do in martial arts. We're going to look at punches, kicks, knees and elbows, which you can do shadow boxing, or you can do on the bob, or anywhere. So let's look first at the jab. The jab is the range finder. It's an intuitive punch which sets up the right hand. So all you're going to do is just snap it out as if you are pulling something towards you. You're grabbing something and simultaneously actually stretching out. It's as much of a pull as it is an extension. So we can look at the jab as a range finder. It's very natural to feel your way in before you do something else. So it might be a light attack first. So the basic steps are just to extend and snap back in to the guard position. The right hand, once you've set it up, you just come across. I step out slightly. It's as if you're thrusting a spear set up, and when you know it's there, it takes a bit longer to recover in general, so it's used sparingly to thrust out using the waist, extending the shoulder, and then you can actually back off, follow up with a jab, step to the side. Any number of things are possible. So we've looked at the jab, the straight or the cross. We can also look at the hook. The hook naturally, this is why we're doing it in this order, the hook naturally follows from the right hand. So you're extending one and then the other in a chain-like fashion. That can go on and on in any number of combinations. So the hook really just intuitively sweeps across. If it's on the chin, you can add power, but it tends to just sweep across like so. If you're just doing it alone, it would be as if stirring a pot. You drop the weight and, like a ball and chain, you just extend out, sinking into the stance to root yourself, come across and then back. You can even lean back to keep out of range from any potential counterattacks. Now we have the uppercut, which comes upwards like so. Can be combined in. This one you just drop down an uppercut like so. And then you just follow up with anything else. It can be done with the left or right. You can use any combination. Drop down, keep tight. It's a close range. It's difficult to reach in. So if you're in, you just sneak underneath in the kind of range you would use an elbow, which we're going to look at. So these punches, generally hooks and uppercuts, tend to be a bit closer. Straight punches, you can get that range, so there's no need to be in tight. However, the Thai boxers, when they punch, they don't always overturn, they just repeatedly punch shorter. So that's an option. So the elbow just comes across, similar to the hook, except you just drop either downwards, across. You can even kind of go up like so. It's an intuitive thing to do, is to practice. At different ranges. Like so, just slowly trying not to leave any gap. You can fill in between once you get your rhythm going, but it's about just continuously flowing in a dynamic, active manner rather than just passively. So you can mix it up. At any moment you'll be able to speed up or keep in control throughout. So we've looked at elbows, punches, kicks. We have the front kick, the teep it's called in Thai boxing. You just draw the knee up and extend out like so. You can do two. You can make your way in. You can push back the opponent, keeping them away. So this adds another distance. Kicks are generally long range. You can do shorter kicks with the shin or with the knee. It's a question of just adapting to the situation. You can do front leg or back leg. The turning kick is the same. You can do with the shin. You can do with the foot. You can do low, front. And again, useful exercise is to vary that distance and continue in a flowing state. You should be able at any point to increase that speed, that tempo. So there's fluidity and there's also control. We can look at the knee, we can grab the head and pull down. Repeatedly. From here, just grab. You can mix it up, uppercuts, hooks, knees, closer range shots when you're grabbing behind the neck, because this will offset the equilibrium. Now the neck is an area of a lot of neurological activity, so if you manage to displace the opponent or yourself, if you yourself actually get displaced, then this is going to make life difficult to balance. So we have the front kick, we have some specialty kicks, side kick, there's a pushing kick where you simply push through instead of strike. So that one you push them away a bit more. A few notes on the kicks. You want to turn the waist in, pivot on the standing foot. You can do it without that. It's harder to actually get the extension and turning power without extending that hip by turning the standing foot. You can do it on your toes. I like to anchor, turn on the toe and then sink down into the heel so that I don't overturn or I don't slip. You don't want to be rooted when you turn because that doesn't allow the turn. So you turn and sink down and launch the kick. As I say, it can be done low, high. You can do it high if you like. To the head. That requires a bit more flexibility. So you can mix it up in any number of ways. Punches, kicks, a couple of combinations we can look at are 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. There are really any number. It's about getting creative. There's not rules. There's basic common ones, and then we work from there. We've got the back kick. It's a specialty kick. You just turn, face the back, thrust through like a horse kick. You can add a jump. You can reach in. I think the best one is to just jab out, make your way away, either midsection, groin. We've got hooking kick. You simply, if it were a turn itself, turn the back, step, lifting the leg. We then lean back slightly, and again, just sweep across the space with the heel or the foot, bottom of the foot. So that's a specialty kick. It's difficult to pull off, particularly live. Once again, I would say you want to turn on the ball of the foot. Then once you've turned, then you set down that anchor and just let it glide across, allowing yourself to smoothly sweep. So that brings us to an end for some basic techniques, a quick rundown. Now the guard position itself is just the hands naturally in front of the head, as if to block anything, run interference on anything that might come in. There are various ways of doing this. You might have them up high, you might have them a bit lower, you might have them chin height to cover the vulnerable chin area. I won't dictate what to do because all the systems, and you need to remain intuitive throughout. You'll have to adjust accordingly. So the thing to remember with the guard is to passively absorb something just in case you can't see it. If you're in close, it's too close to be able to consciously plan, so you just cover up in any way possible. For example, just like that, like that, like that, covering. There are any number of ways. It would be impossible to actually get into that right now. Quick note on the stance. Front foot is turned out slightly. This allows you to back off or prevents you slipping, because you've got this strong outside edge which stops you overturning. You can obviously go square if you like, but it's up to you. Footwork, we just step forward with the leading foot, step backwards with the back foot. We basically use the foot that's closest to where we're walking. I'm slightly side on, not completely square or side on. That brings this foot a bit closer this side, that one a bit closer that side. Now these aren't hard and fast rules. You can do as you please. You can change, and then it's the reverse situation. If you want to do a jab, you can easily turn to the side, taking yourself off center, able to then go 45 degrees away, stopping his forward advance. You can obviously do the same if you use the right hand. You can step out. There are many complex ways of doing this. One effective way, as I say, is to jab and then just naturally the body's turning, so it's easy for you to do the same. With the right hand, you send it out. You can either then fall to that side, or you can keep evading backwards. There are any number of combinations. So the pelvis is tilted forward slightly, chest is elevated to allow this oxygenation to occur, chin is down but engaged, neck is rotated forward slightly so that you're not collapsed. This gives you an upright, compact switch on posture. So we'll just quickly look at some of the things we can do combination wise. Just working round, staying in, staying in this posture. Again, you can go, I'd be doing left foot forwards, you can do right foot forwards, but generally the right side is more powerful. The left side tends to be more flowing, natural. It's just a combination of power and control. The left side tends to offset the excessively powerful side of the right. And each time we can make a sound, or ha, 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 are two common noises. We've looked at this in the past. It links the body to the breath, to the upper body, lower body, upper body. Ensures that the sound travels and you're breathing deeply from belly to nose. Whereas if you just hold the breath, the force tends to just dissipate above here and hold in the physical center. So this pelvis tilted forward slightly, this just lowers the center of gravity. We just expel the air in order to bring that energy up to the top. So you can play around in any way. Using any number of combinations. So I hope that helped to give a bit of a demo as to how these moves work, how they link together. As I say, it's not an excessive technical exploration of each move. They can be found elsewhere. I've even done them myself if you look through the videos. So this was just a quick look and a guide just to give you some examples.